Let's talk about some special triggering modes. When we're looking at very low frequency signals, there's not going to be any trigger. You'll notice that we don't see any trigger here. Pressing the trigger button doesn't do anything. We're at a slow enough horizontal scan that we just keep showing the waveform over and over again, and wherever it starts is wherever it starts. And the reason is that we don't want to wait and for the waveform to get to the same spot, because we want to see it. But now it's kind of hard to see the waveform because, as you can see, it's sort of shifting around. We have a button over here called Run Stop. Run Stop stops sampling. So if we get a very slow waveform and we want to stop it, we press Run Stop and we stop collecting data, and whatever we've collected so far is what's displayed on the screen. We can go back and collect data again by pressing Run Stop a second time. So this is a good way to capture slow-moving stuff. Wait till it's almost done and grab it. This will be useful when we look at the lunar lander in Lab 2. Another feature we have is the ability to trigger on a waveform but only capture one instance of it. And this is very useful when you have things that happen very, very infrequently. The problem with the oscilloscope is it'll just keep capturing stuff, and so we'll capture the waveform we're waiting for, and then it'll immediately get overwritten. So we have something called single sequence, our single sequence button. So in normal mode, and I'm going to go to a faster waveform to show this. Let's see. 1 kilohertz. 1 kilohertz sine wave. Let's go back to Run Start. And as I said before, what we're seeing is the input over and over again always started at this point. Now that's fine as long as the input repeats, but if the input doesn't repeat, we wouldn't get anything. So what we can do is we can set single sequence, and as soon as our trigger condition is met, in this case it's when the voltage reaches this value, the scope will capture that, display it, and it will stop. It says ACQ, acquisition complete. We're not seeing the input waveform, and in fact if I turn the input waveform off, which I've just done, nothing changes. Now in normal mode, we're back in normal mode. See, we see the green trigger. If I turn the input waveform off, the input changes to off. I turn the input waveform on, it changes to on. But if I'm in single sequence mode, the first time the trigger is reached, we capture it and we stop displaying data. So now if the data goes off, we still have the captured data. Where is that useful? That's useful where you've got something that happens very infrequently. You want to capture it and display it and not have it immediately go away because the scope is going to capture the next cycle of nothing happening. So be aware it's there, it's very useful, it's fairly infrequent that we need to use it.